and you went through this conventional realm of things. What would you say was the toughest part when you were navigating through the conventional side, where you started to realize maybe this isn't the way back to health? Because you're also young. How much do you really understand? Where was it that you started to say, hey, I got to do something different here because this isn't working?
Right. So it really went in phases. You know, when I was a kid, I really relied on my mom. You know, she
Mm.
would talk to the doctors and stuff. And then as I got older, around 12, 13 years of age and that, my parents started looking at other options, like holistic options, as along with conventional options. And so what I noticed along this track, whether it's conventional, holistic, either or, is they're not really understanding what the root cause of the problem is. So what they're doing is they're, even at a natural doctor, which, I love holistic approach, right? But they're given digestive enzymes, HCl, which is good, but it's not taking care of the problem. So what's happening is they're never able to heal me because they really didn't understand. And what I really found was the biggest roadblock to healing early on was just the doctors feeling like my body was just like in a deficit. My body was bad. I couldn't ever heal myself. It's just the information they were giving me and the approach was off. I remember being 12 years old, 13 years old here in Orlando and asking one of the top GI doctors still in the city. I said, Doc, it's really weird. When I eat this, I have a problem. Do you think it has something to do with the food? No, absolutely not. It's your immune system. I said, well, I'm 13 years old and this stuff is like common sense. If you eat something, it goes in your body, something's going to happen. And he tells me, absolutely, it has nothing to do with it. It's your body attacking itself. Well, why? And I'm asking these questions and, and they get upset, like, I'm the doctor, stop at, do what I say. And this doctor and myself, we battled constantly because I didn't like what was going on, And for a while I thought that I was going to die from the disease. I didn't think it was ever curable. It changed my attitude as a teenager. And then things started changing. I started getting a little better with some of the conventional medicine that they would put me on, the Humira, the Remicade. But those things have a shelf life. Some people are blessed and they can take that for the rest of their life and it'll manage their symptoms. But the other part of it is that it's also working against your body's natural physiology. So even if you take this medicine for 30 years, yes, it will help you manage your symptoms, which is great, but it's also causing damage to the body. So the biggest roadblock that I learned along the way was just one is really the doctors. The doctors are in a place where they're being educated for a system for a certain purpose, which is to manage. So they're not really understanding the healing. They're lacking the nutrition. And when we tried to talk to them as the patients, this is 10 years ago now, it's changing now. But it's really, I'm the doctor, you're the patient, listen to me. But when I was able to, go through that really rough situation in 2012, it was kind of the same thing where the doctor said, hey, I'm the doctor, I know what I'm doing. I've done a million of these colonoscopies. And I said, hey, I just really want you to just please take your time. I feel like this is my last chance. I went from, a great career, from, giving the head of the Smithsonian, private tours, Prince, all sorts of celebrities, just kings, dignitaries, really cool stuff, to 6 months later, I'm at my parents' house in Florida. I'm down all this weight. I'm really sick. I feel like I don't know what's going on again. And it gets to the point where you just really have this toll that happens on your body, not just emotionally, but physically, and the finances, there's all these things. So it gets to a tipping point, and it got to a tipping point for me where the doctor said, this is your body that's causing it. My parents told me that I caused Crohn's disease. I don't really understand how that could possibly ever happen. And it's like everything was against me. Nobody was supporting me. Nobody was in my corner. Nobody was understanding what I was going through. And I'm trying as hard as I can, to get ahead. And every step I take forward, there's 2 steps back, So this is the issue. It's not so much even, when people are going through the physical part of it and the emotional, the financial part of it is something that really causes problems with people's relationships and families because they don't understand it. They look at you and they say, oh, you're lazy. You know, you look fine to me. We always have to help you. You know, you're a burden. You know, and these are the things that it's unnecessary. We don't have to go through it. And, you know, I just feel really blessed to have gone through such a terrible situation, and just the right chain of events is really what happened, and really kind of, you know, just kind of changed things for me, you know.